Good Shabbos, everybody. How are you? So this is like my fourth cake. Adina, my daughter, is filming me. And every time I get like 3/4 way through my live vlog, I mess up on some word because I'm sleep deprived. And we start cracking up, and we're going to compile a great section of bloopers that we can send to you afterwards. So if you start laughing or if you see the phone shaking, you'll know why. Anyway, maybe we're going stir crazy, because who would have thought that 3 weeks we'll be still standing here sharing the same message of don't worry, we're almost there, let's have words of inspiration. But yet, beautiful out, sunny, the world goes on, and we're going sugar. We're going absolutely crazy. The world has stopped, airlines have stopped, businesses have stopped, shuls have stopped, schools have stopped, shops have stopped. Besides for Amazon, like, it's insane. So every night I'm blessed to be able to share with you a brief message. This week was very meaningful week and very busy week, in as much as between the Zoom davening, classes, one-on-ones, challah baking, sessions with other lecturers, it's really been amazing, and I've been communicating with a lot of you in a very personal way. Now, if there's one thing, and this was the word that I messed up before that we have bloopers on, so bear with me. If there was one common denominator, I said it right, she's shaking her head. If there was one common denominator, I did it again. Keep rolling, because this can be a 15th time. It's almost up. Okay. If there's one common denominator that we have, which is that all of us are in this together, meaning no matter which part of the world you live, what religion you are, every person has the same fear, the same anxiety, and also the same worry about health, quarantining, patience, all the things, acceptance, all the things that we've discussed over the last 2 weeks. But let me share something with you that's a little different today, and something hopefully we can take a positive lesson from. There's a lot of finger pointing, which is understandable. People don't know where to turn, what to do. Doctors, medical experts, people in the government, and everyone is sharing either on Facebook or personally, getting upset, watching media. And I beg you, I ask you, just take a moment and say, let's reserve this for afterwards when we revert back to who we were. But for right now, let's just focus all our energy and all our might and all our worry and all our prayers and all our concern of just making sure that we and our families and our communities and people around us are safe, and people who need help and support, that we're there for them. It's a very, very important message. Do not place any emphasis on he's to blame or she's to blame. Even if you're 100% right, there's no such thing as 100% right, but even if you feel you're really right, just give it a break. Just say, let's focus on reaching out to people, see how they're doing, making sure that we're all healthy and well. Last night, somebody texted me that they were watching Unorthodox, and it was like alarming to them how this new Netflix series, I haven't seen it yet, but just really interesting, the whole, how does it work in the Orthodox community, and why are the Orthodox the ones who are not quarantining, why they have so many there. So it's really for another blog, another discussion, but here's the bottom line. Right? The Orthodox communities, by and large, have very much quarantined. They close the shores just like everybody else. The problem is that there's such a close-knit community that prior to even Purim coming, people weren't aware, and they were already spreading it because Corona has been here for many weeks. And there's so many of them who have the same anxiety and fears and being affected so badly, and their families are on respirators and in hospitals and tending and caring to those around them. So while we may have interest in finding an article or finding a show that really has some controversy to it, that really enlightens us and makes us feel, oh, this is juicy, let's put that aside. We can watch anything you want to watch that's interesting, but that's not the focus. The focus today is, no matter if you're Orthodox or Reform or not Jewish or any religion, it's irrelevant. Right now, as Bnei Adam, as humanity, we need to stand together in unison and say that we're here to help mankind like they have never struggled before globally, to the extent that we're struggling with today. So I really hope that we can place our efforts in doing the right thing and using the limited resources we have, because we're tired, we're exhausted, we're mentally strained, and our limited resources, to enjoy a Shabbos, to sit down with our families and say, thank God that we're still here and healthy. Thank God we have the resources to help. And yes, the upcoming months are still going to be challenging, whether it be from a medical standpoint or even from a financial standpoint. Live for today, live with hope. And if we dedicate ourselves to be there for others, then we will have less energy and less time to worry about the negatives. Put that aside. I love you all. I wish you good Shabbos. I ask you to please pray for everyone who needs a refuah shalem or kreva, a speedy recovery. Everybody that you know, people that we know close to home, need our prayers this Shabbos. Let's hope and pray that God sends an end to this and we can celebrate Pesach together as one people with one heart. Shabbat Shalom.